Hello and welcome to our South African Super Animals Thicket edition. So we have, there are 12 cards for this section as well. I have 10 of them. The one will be, I will use the sound because it's the same sound from the wetland of the southern bald ibis. So we'll be using his sound for the hardy-dar or the ibis. So I'll go through those two first. We have the bushbuck. The bushbuck, it says there, the bushbuck gets its name from the way they take care of their offspring. The mother hides the babies in the bushes until they're about 4 months old to keep them safe and hide them from predators. She also eats their droppings, obviously, to keep them hidden like a lot of mommies do. And she runs around and she plays with them. So the bushbuck is pretty cool. They can weigh 25 to 80 kgs, which is 55 to 180 pounds. And they stand about 1 meter in height. And they can live up to 15 years in captivity. I don't know how old they live in the wild because I just couldn't find it. Anyway. So now we have the ibis, or the hardy-dar, which it's called the hardy-dar for its call that it makes, because apparently it goes ha 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 dee da. I used to make the sound. I won't do it because I'll probably look like an idiot. Anyway, so they live anything from 16 to 20 years old. They are 76 centimeters long and they weigh 1.2 kgs, which is 2.6 pounds. And then it says they are a protected species, so it's unlawful to kill them. Apparently, they judge the direction of gaze, the head orientation, and approach speed in their risk assessment of a predator. So if you're walking toward them, actually looking at them, they'll decide when they need to fly away and at what speed they need to start walking and when they start walking. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And I remember trying to get close to a hardy-dar in the back garden. If you don't look at them and you just mind your own business, and then they apparently fly away at a slower pace. I don't know, you never catch. My cat once caught a hardy-dar, the poor thing. We ended up taking it to Crow, which was a centre for wildlife animals that have been injured, and it was rehabilitated and set free again. Anyway, so this is what they sound like. It's the same sound as the southern bald ibis, which we did in the wetland edition. Anyway, let's get started now with the actual cards that we do have. So we have a crested barbet. Now the crested barbet, he lives up to about 10 years old, and I'm not going to be converting my 0.7 of a kg anymore. I'm just going to say that in grams. I'm pretty sure everyone uses grams. So they are 700 grams. And they are 24 centimeters long. And they can fly up to 60 kilometers an hour. Number 4 on the vulnerability scale. It says here, why do people like to have this bird in their garden? It eats the snails in the garden. Snails can be a big pain. Right, let's hear what he sounds like. He, she, it. Oh, this card's a bit damaged. Hopefully. That's quite cool. Let's do it again. And that is a crested barbet. Right. Next we have, oh, and I didn't convert his speed. So he flies at 60 kilometers an hour, which is 37 miles. I've got my conversion table up here. Just for people who've never used kilometers, like most of people who live in England. I'm having to learn to use miles, so it's very hard. Right, we have next the common kestrel. It's quite a cute looking bird. So the common kestrel, pretty amazing. The common kestrel is able to see in ultraviolet light during the day. So this helps the bird to detect the urine trails around rodent burrows as they shine in an ultraviolet color during the daylight. How awesome is that? Imagine being able to see in ultraviolet. Okay, so they live up to 15 years old, and this card is inaccurate. It's 315 grams, but the card says 315 kgs. I doubt they weigh that much. They are 39 centimeters long, and they fly 65 kilometers an hour, so that's 40 miles an hour. And they're number 4 on the vulnerability scale, so they're relatively safe. Let's hear what they sound like. I haven't got the cat here today. She's sleeping on the windowsill in the lounge. Although she might come with all these sounds. I'm trying to swipe it and it's not swiping. And that is a common kestrel. Next we have the carmine bee-eater. Carmine bee-eater, it says here, I think there's a fact. No. It just says they are known to ride the backs of other animals through insect swarms and catch insects while doing so. They live up to 7 years old, and they weigh 600 grams, and they are 27 centimeters long. They can fly up to 42 kilometers an hour, which is 26 miles an hour. Also number 4 on the vulnerability scale. They're quite a pretty looking bird as well. Oh, let's swipe the card. And I am swiping more than once. The other day, the flamingo played a different sound on the 3rd swipe. Anyway, next we have the black goshawk. The black goshawk. They are known to feed on small to medium-sized birds, squirrels, rabbits, hares, snakes, and insects. And they've also been known to hunt birds as big as a guinea fowl. They live up to 19 years old. And they weigh 1 kg, which is 2.2 pounds. They are 60 centimeters in length and can fly up to 60 kilometers an hour, which is 37 miles an hour. And they're number 4 on the vulnerability scale, so they're relatively safe. Oh, I'm having no luck with the swiping thing. Try it again. Ah! Sounds scary. Okay, next we have the mountain reedbuck. So the mountain reedbuck, it says here, how do they forecast the weather? Apparently they turn their backs toward the direction of bad weather. So if you ever want to know what weather's coming and you're in a game park in South Africa and you can tell the difference between all the different antelope there, all the different bucks and all, they turn their back toward bad weather. They live up to 14 years old and they weigh up to 30 kgs. They're 136 centimeters in height and they can run at a speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which is 30 miles an hour. And they're number 4 on the vulnerability scale. So let's hear what the reedbuck sounds like. You'd think that's a bird. Okie dokie. Next we have the elephant. I love elephants. So an elephant can apparently drink up to 200 liters of water in one drink. And they are really, really good at swimming, and they can swim long distances, even though they are massive. They can live up to 70 years old. They weigh 6,000 kgs, which is 13,227 pounds, or, like a normal person might say, 6 tons. I don't know about this height. It says up to about 7 meters tall. That's probably right. Okay, some of these cards are wrong. Like, I've researched the stuff on the cards, especially the cards that are missing, and I found different information. So I do double check what I can. They can run up to a speed of 40 kilometers an hour, which is 25 miles an hour. And they're number 2 on the vulnerability scale, people. So stop poaching them for their horns and tusks. I mean, not horns, tusks. Quite sad, but anyway, we need to look after our wildlife. This card is damaged, or there's something stuck in the card reader. Sure, you know what an elephant sounds like. When we finally get there. Oh. That sounds like a monkey. I promise you it's the elephant. Maybe he was silently... Do you see what I mean? The cards play two different noises. Doesn't sound like an elephant, does it? Okay, that's an elephant. Right, next we have the Grant's golden mole. Grant's golden mole, I'm trying to read the book there, says they are endemic to South Africa, which means that they live only there and nowhere else. How special are we? Or is South Africa? Okay, so the Grant's golden mole doesn't really have eyes. I suppose like many other moles, the eyelids fuse closed at a young age, with the skin covering the eyes then increasing in thickness. So they are nocturnal, and this mole, specifically this mole, not like any other mole, they tend to live in like more desert kind of areas, and they move over the surface of the sand, dipping their head into the sand and sometimes swimming through the sand, and they can detect low frequency vibrations through the ground. So they are so cute. I've touched a mole before. They're like silk. Oh, anyway, they can live up to 10 years old. And this little guy is 25 grams. Anyway, and he measures 23 centimeters in length, and he goes at a speed of 5 kilometers an hour with his swimming through the sand, which is 3 miles an hour. But they are number 1 on the vulnerability scale, which means they are so endangered. That's sad. They even make a noise. That's so cute. Aww. Okay, so that's a Grant's golden mole. Then we have the orange-breasted sunbird. They can live up to 3 to 4 years old, and they are 110 grams in weight, and they are 17 centimeters long. And they can fly at a speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which is 40 miles an hour. And it says here, they make their nests out of rootlets, twigs, and grass bound together with spider webs. How interesting is that? So, let's see what they sound like. That is the orange-breasted sunbird. Next we have the Cape Eagle owl. Cape Eagle owl. They're so cool looking. They are capable of carrying prey weighing 4 times its own body weight. They can live up to 10 years old, and they are, I can't read the card, it's a bit damaged, 1.3 kgs. They can grow up to 1.3 kgs in weight. 61 centimeters long, and they can fly up to 80 kilometers an hour, which is 49 miles an hour. Number 4 on the vulnerability scale. Some of these cards got a bit wet and damaged. One of the books obviously got something spilt on it. Oh, it wasn't very long. Let's hear it again. So that is the Cape Eagle owl. And last but not least, we have the crowned eagle. Just looks like he's having a bad hair day. So he is apparently Africa's most powerful bird. And it says, because they're able to kill prey that are 4 times their size. I've seen that. Not in real life, but in videos. So they can have up to 15 years old. They weigh 5 kgs and are 99 centimeters in length. They can fly at a speed of 160 kilometers an hour. That's 99 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Now, number 3 on the vulnerability scale See what they sound like? It's quite a nice sound. It's pretty cool, man. Right. Anyway, so that is the end of the thicket. Let me just turn the page here. Our next one will be the Namakaroo. If you enjoyed that video, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like and share. I have not told anyone that knows me about these videos. I wanted to just try and get my own views without having family and friends watching them. I wanted to try and just see how far it would go. So far, not so great, but anyway. Yeah. Thicket is one of the smallest biomes of South Africa. It covers only 2.5% of the country. You can find this biome from the west coast to KwaZulu-Natal, with most of it concentrated around the Eastern Cape. It develops where there is a lot of rainfall, but there are also dry periods preventing this biome from turning into forests. Thicket varies from thorny evergreen shrub vegetation to low forest, and it is found mostly in river valleys with well-drained sandy soils. Sometimes you also find large open spaces in the thicket biome.